welcome back to the Rearview podcast. It has been some time, but I am back and I'm joined once again by the wonderful Mr. Reece Keeble.
Hello, I'm waving off camera. Oh, sorry, there we go.
There
Hello.
he is.
How are
There he
you?
is.
Nice to see you again. Nice to be doing this with you again. How are things?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, like, look, it's been a little bit of time, hasn't it? I mean, we've been away, we've come back, we've aged, we've grown,
Got fatter.
we're both McLaren fans now, you know, we're glory hunters, all that stuff. We tick all the boxes
I wouldn't
now.
loop me in with that, thank you. But
What's
you
that?
know, yeah,
What?
okay.
Listen, Reece, to start things off, I'm going to throw you straight in with a bit of a quiz, all right? Because it has been 5 years almost since the last episode of this podcast. So if you're listening to this, chances are you aren't an original listener. If you are, thank you for waiting.
If you are, what's happened? Why
What
are you
has
still
happened?
waiting?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to throw you in with a little bit of F1 trivia here because I want you to tell me, back when we did our last episode, it was the start of the 2021 season.
Yep.
We were previewing what was going to come. And then we did nothing else after that. So we looked at a few races, I think, actually, a few races into there, but we didn't really, we didn't finish the season. And most importantly, we didn't do Abu Dhabi 2021, which would have been a hell of an episode. We missed that.
Yes. I feel like we picked a critical time to stop doing it, to go on hiatus, considering, it was really when F1 was booming, Netflix was coming in.
Yeah, we timed it quite poorly.
We timed it very poorly.
Anyway, so a few questions for you, Reece, just to test you. So we're going off the 2020 season. At the end of the 2020 season, can you tell me who was the world champion?
Hamilton?
Yes, it was Hamilton. All right.
Thank God.
And
Thank God.
You were a McLaren fan then, right? You're a huge McLaren fan.
Big time.
So who was driving for McLaren at the time?
Was Daniel Ricciardo. Was not Daniel Ricciardo. It was Daniel. What's your face doing? Help me out.
I might even answer.
Was it Sainz and Norris?
It was Sainz and Norris. Very good.
Right,
At the end of 2021, Ricciardo was 20. Sorry, at the end of 2020, Ricciardo was 2021.
Yep.
And who was racing for Red Bull? My team at the time.
That would have been Max. And Perez.
Alex Albon.
Was it?
To be fair, when I recalled that, I thought it might have been Gasly. I think Gasly started the 2020 season, Albon finished it, and then Perez came in afterwards.
Right.
Okay, next one then. How many race wins did now full-time champion Max Verstappen have in 2020, at the end of 2020?
I don't have a clue. 6.
It's not a bad guess, He started the season with 8. He finished with 10. He had 10 career wins to his name.
Right,
He's now on a whopping 71.
Wow.
So we've missed 61 Max Verstappen victories since the last podcast.
Yeah.
We've missed 4 Max Verstappen world titles.
Yeah.
And with all that success, I decided to stop supporting Red Bull and start supporting McLaren. So, we'll take that. Right, Reece, what are we doing today, mate? We're going to look at the 2026 season. We've made some predictions.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at the liveries.
We're going to look at the liveries. We're going to go through a few different sections. I've got a few different topics that we're going to go through today, and we're going to make some predictions for the upcoming season that maybe at the end of the season, if we're still going, we'll have a bit of a rear view on, and we'll have a look back at and see, did we get them right? Did we get them wrong? What happened?
And quite often we get them completely wrong.
And we're quite often. To start with, it's not a prediction really, it's an opinion piece. I'm going to start with Reece, and I want you to give us your livery podium. So here we go, livery podium.
So your bronze medal on the livery podium is I am going to go for...
Which is third best. You're not saying that's the worst.
It's third best.
It's the third best.
You're going to slate me here, but I think it's very nice. It's very clean. I think it'll look a lot better on track under the lights. Audi.
You've put Audi third.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You sent it to me and you were like, this is horrible. How'd you ruin Chrome? And I was like, I quite like that.
All right.
So
fair.
What's your bronze?
My bronze. I've gone for the Racing Bull.
Interesting.
It's a bit of a Marmite livery. And to be fair, look, I'll put a bit of context in here. We're missing a couple of liveries still. We haven't got the McLaren yet. We haven't got the Aston Martin, and we haven't got the Cadillac at the time of
time of
recording.
record. Cadillac is tonight for the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
Record. Well done. Who's playing in it? Chiefs. Go Chiefs. Not a clue.
And at the time of seeing this, you've probably seen it. So look, I could be wrong. I could move Cadillac up. I reserve the right to change this top three. But I'm putting Racing Bulls at third. I think it's a nice livery. They've done well with the colour scheme. It echoes kind of the previous cars they've had in the previous seasons, but in a quite a classy way. And I like the Ford Blue on there. It's a nice car. I like it.
Well, for very, very similar reasons, my silver medal is the Racing Bulls.
Oh, okay.
I really like it.
Right.
I really like the Ford Blue. I think it pops a bit more. The Ford Blue pops a bit more with the white on the car. And the Visa logo is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I'm a sucker for a good sponsor. And that Visa logo, wow.
I've got to say, I think there's been quite a good attempt this season at finding sponsors for your brand that their colours kind of match.
Yeah.
Like you think to last year, like Kick Sauber and all that kind of stuff, it was awful. But I mean, it's not in my top three, but the Williams, I think they've done a great job identifying three partners that all have different shades of blue. And it kind of works, but it's a bit too billboardy for me, that one. So my silver medal goes to Red Bull. For similar reasons to the sister team, right? It's nice. It's different, which I think has always been the criticism of Red Bull. It's always been too like samey. It's not really changed enough, and they've brought back the white outline on the Bull. They've added those kind of lighter blue undertones in there as well. Again, it's this Ford partnership. I think it looks really good. So yeah, Red Bull is my second place.
So that leads me to the gold medal, and we always talk F1. Like, obviously, off the podcast as well as on it, when we're doing it. But we both said this has got a weird loophole with it. And if you know already, well done. It is the Haas.
That's your gold medal?
My number one. Yeah.
My gold medal.
I really like it.
It's the Haas.
Is it?
I've also put the Haas second.
We're like the same person,
I don't know if it's like this partnership they've now got with Toyota really pushing into it. Yeah, but for me, like the main thing about a car is the engine cover, having the big GR on there. It's really clean. Yeah. It's really clean. I'm a big fan of the Haas, and I think they've done a great job kind of combining their brand with a bit of the Toyota brand and all that kind of stuff. I'm excited to see how that partnership expands beyond that as well.
Well, I alluded to the loophole that they found. Can you enlighten us a little bit on that, Tom?
Oh, the number loophole.
The number loophole.
See, this is something I've seen a few teams picking up now from footage from... We've had the one private test at the time of recording. We haven't had the two public ones yet. But footage that's come out from that private test, a lot of teams aren't running numbers on the rear engine cover.
Yeah, where you would find it. Right at the back, right on the fin, if you will.
Yeah. Which since
no numbers.
2017, 2018 has kind of been a staple on all F1 cars. You've always expected to see that. But seemingly someone at Haas has just kind of gone, we're trying to like cram this livery around this number. Why? There's nothing in the rules that say we need to have this number on the car. And then everyone's gone, oh, you're right.
Yeah, but if you are a boss at Haas, the last thing you want is someone running into your office going, sir, I've got a loophole. And it's just, cosmetic.
Yeah. So, oh, you got a loophole. Oh, it's the double diffuser. He's worked it out. Yeah, I worked out we don't need number on rear of the car.
You know, those numbers, they're gone. They're gone, them
don't
numbers.
Need them. Only on front. Don't need it on back. I don't know why people working at Haas are from Yorkshire. Anyway, that's our livery predictions. And we wanted to get those out there so we could kind of review what we think the paint scheme's looking like. That was kind of always a staple of our reviews, of our predictions in the past. So it was important to get those out there.
We were very cosmetic, weren't we, in the past?
Very cosmetic.
I think we should kind of stay that way as well.
Whilst we're on the topic, Reece, have you got a worst livery? What's your worst one?
So you've already alluded to it as well. And like you say, there's not been a lot. I think Williams.
Yeah.
Billboard.
It's a nice livery in that the colours work. It's simple enough. They've got lots of sponsors, which is great for Williams. For a long time, that was a sponsorless team. And they've got loads now. And they've picked them well. The colours all match on the car. But it's just sponsors.
Yeah, and I think in a time where you've got your racing bulls doing something beautiful. Haas has come out of Haas has got no right with a black and white with a little bit of red car to win the livery off, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't think there's any awful liveries this season. I think over the last few we've had the kick Saubers and all those kind of things have just been not great. McLaren, Aston Martin, Cadillac, they could still bring something out. Cadillac, I think, are a bit of a wild card. They could absolutely, make an awful livery or do something good. So
yeah, theirs is either going either end of the spectrum, isn't it? So either going to be amazing or an absolute dog turd.
Yeah, 100%. And thinking back to the 5 years thing we said at the start, imagine if 5 years ago I said Cadillac are going to be on the F1 grid for 2026.
Yeah.
That's mental in itself, isn't it? Why Cadillac? They don't make race cars. They make big family SUVs. Anyway, it's time to get into our predictions properly now. And the first one we're going to look at is what we've called our bold prediction. I'm looking for a proper hot take here. Something that sounds a little crazy right now, but if it actually happens, we'll look like geniuses. All right, that's what we're looking for here. So we're looking for something that is absolutely crazy. This is the bold prediction. Reece, what have you got?
So mine, you will think I'm mental, and I've gone bold.
Okay.
I've gone as bold can be. I have had I've obviously done my research. I think that Haas car is looking quite fast, as well as visibly looking quite fast. What's up with you?
What have you done?
Why? I've done a little bit of research. I think that Haas will get 3 podiums.
Okay,
in this next year.
All right. I thought you were going to say one of the top 3 or something like that.
No. Well, I think it will
like that.
It will pick up the scraps.
Yeah.
I think mainly Ollie Behrman will be getting the 3 podiums.
Yeah,
so,
and to be fair, I think I like their driver lineup. I think Ocon, I think Behrman, 2 consistent drivers. I don't mind that. It's a bold prediction, but I don't mind it.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where I'm not too fussed if it doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It won't affect me. However, I would quite like to see Ollie Behrman prove and show what he is capable of, and the talent that he has already shown when he's stepped into the Ferrari, for example. He's a hell of a driver, and he deserves a car that can give him just a little bit something more.
Nice. Okay. I've gone a little bit different.
Okay.
My bold prediction is that by the end of this season, Christian Horner will be back on the grid.
When we said bold prediction,
I
don't think that's very bold.
You don't think that's bold?
I think that's going to happen, and I think it's going to be in Alpine's colours.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Now, listen. You see, I think Horner comes back. I don't think he's done with F1. So I know what you mean by that. He seems like he wants to come back, and there's always news stories saying he's looking for a buyout of this team. He's looking to invest here. So I can fully see it happening. Whether it's in the same sort of role he was at Red Bull, I don't know. But I think it could happen.
He's made his voice very clear, hasn't he, on the fact that he's not done with the sport yet.
Yeah.
And he's made sure that the media headlines are still talking about him.
Yeah. So he's not stayed quiet.
Exactly.
He's not stayed quiet.
So to move on from our bold predictions, Tom, do you reckon there will be a first-time winner this year in Formula One? And if so, who and why?
The first-time winner. Yeah, look, I had a bit of a debate about this one, and I think looking at what all the rumour mills are saying and everything that's happening coming out of that first private test, sounds like Mercedes have kind of got a little bit of a good car.
Yeah.
So I've said yes, and I think the obvious one, it's Kimi, isn't it? Kimi Antonelli. I think he gets his first win this season. I'll be shocked if he doesn't.
I think we've both said the same things with, I know Russell gets a little bit of hate online, but at the end of the day, he's a good, steady head to be a mentor, which is very much the role that Russell's going to be in. I think it is only a matter of time until he is on that top step. Like you said, the Mercedes is looking fast. It's looking scarily fast.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, we'll get into our championship predictions a little bit later into the video, but I think that Mercedes is it's got a leg up.
100%.
Saying that, we've got 2 more tests to go. So once we get the data on track, it could be that Mercedes car is awful. We saw this. When was it? when we were recording, I can't remember how. Do you remember the zero pods? Do you remember when Mercedes brought the zero pod design out and everyone was like, this is it. They've dominated it. They're going to do it all. And then it was awful. It bounced about. It porpoised. I think porpoising was the word when we last recorded.
Yes. Yeah.
And they ended up being awful. So it could be a similar thing like that. Look, on paper, it looks great. Does it work in a race? We don't know. So, well, I withhold judgment on that again. But I think, like you say, first time winner, I'll be shocked if we get to the end of the season and Kimi Antonelli hasn't won a race.
Yeah. That will be a disappointing season for both him and Mercedes if Kimi Antonelli has not won a race.
Yeah, 100%. Now, looking away from that kind of stuff, looking away from the basic guesses that we have, I want to look into this next bit, the overachiever. Right? I want you to tell me a driver or team that you think is going to punch way above their weight class. The one who's going to embarrass the bigger teams with the bigger budgets. So
mine's linked into my bold prediction.
Okay.
So I do think Ollie Behrman will be an overachiever. I think we will be looking at him comfortably in the top 10 of the World Drivers' Championship by the end of the year.
Okay.
That's all I've got to say, really. I said it all in the bold prediction. I think Haas has got a car that will hopefully get him a couple of scraps, a couple of podiums when the picking comes. What about yourself, Tom? What or who is your overachiever?
So I've not gone for a driver.
Okay.
I've gone for a team, and I think it's going to be Williams. Now, look, maybe you're looking at that thinking, look, they were good last year. You can't. It's not a Super Bowl prediction, but they missed the first test. There's been a lot of rumours about them being very overweight and all this kind of stuff, and sounding like they're already on the back foot. But I think they're going to come out the blocks. They're going to get onto this next test, and they're going to be good. And I can see a world where, think back to early Force India, things like that, teams that don't have on paper what you expect to go for against these big teams. I think Williams could, and I think under James Vowles, they've just been growing and growing and growing. They've got a really strong driver lineup. I think Williams could be pushing top 3 this season.
I think they've got the driver lineup that all the teams want, if you know what I mean. They've got 2 very supportive drivers of each other. At the end of last year, obviously, we had Piastri and Norris going at each other. I don't ever think you'd get that at Williams, although saying that, I didn't think you'd get that at McLaren. I think James has revolutionised a team that was stuck in a very dated period for a very long time. It just depends on if they can get that Merc engine singing.
100%. If that Merc engine is like it says it is on paper, very good. I think they'll be okay. And I don't think they'll be too worried about the whole weight thing. The biggest worry for Williams should be that they've got the ugliest livery. That should be their only worry this season.
And that is a fine worry to have. If that's your own worry for a F1 season, you're winning, aren't you?
Yeah. And I think I could even go as far as saying bold prediction. I think Williams win a race this season.
Yeah. I think that's very much in the realm. Yeah,
I don't think they should be overlooked. Not at all. And, like physics says, what goes up must come down.
Very good.
If someone's overachieving, someone's got to be underachieving. So, the underachiever, who have you gone for?
So this is hard to say because we don't fully know where they are going to achieve. I've gone for Cadillac. And the reason that have you gone for Cadillac as well?
I haven't, no.
Okay, just your little smile on your face then said, we've done exactly the same one again. Now, the reason I've gone for Cadillac, and I might get some hate, I might get some boos for this one, if you will. You might start arguing with me, Tom, and telling me I'm wrong. They've gone for an aging driver lineup who only have a couple of years left in the sport.
Yeah.
It's, don't get me wrong. Was Bottas kind of unfairly let go? I'd say so from Mercedes. There was a reason that Perez got let go from Red Bull. Let's not forget that. I don't know. I think if you are starting a new F1 team, I get having, a strong-headed leader kind of in the garage. Don't have to.
Don't have to.
Get an up-and-coming driver as well.
I agree. I mean, like, I think they're two great drivers who were brilliant wingmen, weren't they, to Hamilton and Verstappen? But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how the dynamic works with them both against each other, because neither of them are going to want to be the other's wingman. They've been there.
No.
They've done that.
They've already been the groomsmen, haven't they?
Yeah.
So their term to be the groom.
Exactly.
I think as well with Cadillac, if they build the car to the driver's likings, which most F1 teams do, they find the number one driver, they build it to their likings. What we say in 2-3 years' time, they're going to have to redevelop an entire car.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot for the future.
I think it's a good shout, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they do this season. But equally, I don't imagine they'll set their sights too high. I don't think they'll think they're going to come in swinging. They're using this Ferrari engine that is
fairly unpredictable when it's on a Ferrari.
Yeah, see how it is.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of question marks over it. For me, my underachiever, I've gone for Audi. I don't think enough's being made about this Audi team. They've been Sauber for the last, 2 decades?
Yep.
What's their ambitions going to be? They've been a little bit blunt on not quite stating exactly what it is they want to see from this car. The livery in itself being one that they launched like 3 months ago and then have just relaunched with sponsors. It's boring. And the big thing for Audi that I haven't seen spoken about too much, they've built their own engine. This is their engine they're coming in with. They're not a customer team. They're a constructor.
Yeah.
And that's risky in itself because, like even when Red Bull did the whole thing they did with Honda, they let the racing bulls test it first to see what it was going to be like. They've partnered with big other brands and Ford and Honda and all that kind of stuff to make this Red Bull powertrains thing happen. Audi just come out of the blocks with an engine and said, look, we've been developing this behind the scenes the last few seasons. What's the worst that can happen? And
the worst that can happen is they fall to the bottom of the grid, their engine explodes every race, and they can't see all the season.
Exactly that. So that they're my biggest underachiever. I just don't think the expectations that have been placed on them will. Well, I don't know what those expectations are. I don't know what they want us to think they're going to be able to do, because I don't think the Audi brand are going to want to come to this sport and be last. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they want to do a Mercedes.
Yeah, that's my only argument against thinking that they're going to be down the bottom of the, table, is the fact that they are a big name in cars, they're a big name, big brand. The last thing they want to do is hinder any sales, any profits or anything with being at the bottom of the F1 table.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And coming in with their own engine is a risk beyond that. You look at like what most people come into the sport and do, like when Alfa Romeo did it. If their car is bad, they have the engine to blame.
Yeah.
When McLaren were bad, they had the Honda to blame. There's always like the engines. If you've made that engine, Cadillac can come in and say, yeah, it's the Ferrari. That's why we're bad. Who's Audi going to blame apart from themselves? It needs to work. Otherwise, it could cost them massively. So I'm very excited to see how Audi do. And I hope they prove me wrong. And I hope they are, very competitive. But I'm not holding my breath for them.
Yeah, it feels like it'd have to be a miracle season 100%. For Audi.
100%. Right, should we get to the brass tacks?
Go on then.
Should we get
what we're all here for?
We've got 3 champions that we're going to predict today. And you might be thinking, F1, 3 champions? There's only 2, mate. And we know. You've got your constructor, you've got your driver, and you've got your Rearview Champion, obviously.
The one that means the most.
The one that means the most. The one that everyone wants to win.
Yeah, it is all that matters. We're going to get a trophy made. We're going to send it out to the driver.
Oh.
Like we are going.
Are we?
Yeah, you're paying for it, aren't you?
I'm paying for that.
I thought that's what was agreed.
All right, okay.
You will see it all over the driver's social media.
Yeah.
And then with the Rearview trophy.
Yeah.
Tom, who is your, from third to first, please, your podium for your constructors?
Third to first?
Why?
I only wanted the one.
You only wanted one?
You pushed me for 3. Okay.
Well, I thought give us your top 3 teams.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I've got my champion.
Okay, who's your champion?
The champion. It's Mercedes, mate.
Yep.
They're going to win it.
Yep.
Based on the very little knowledge we have so far from a private test that wasn't really broadcast and a few leaks in the media, that Mercedes is a beast. You know, look, we could be looking back on this in a year's time or a season's time and going, what an idiot, thinking that Mercedes was going to be good. But what else have I got to go on at this point? That Mercedes looks the best car. I think that's going to be a championship car. And I think when a regulation change happens, especially an engine regulation change, your best bet is putting your money behind Mercedes.
Yeah, well, I've also gone for Mercedes for that reason. And to be fair, I know you only wanted one. Second, I've gone McLaren. Third, I've gone for the Ferrari.
No Red Bull in your top three.
No Red Bull in my top three.
Interesting. You think the Ford doesn't work?
I think it's going to take a couple of years.
Interesting.
And I think another bold prediction, if you will, I think in that time we will see Max Verstappen leave and join possibly the Merc.
Oh.
So
well, listen, I wasn't going to press you for a top three at this point because I think after we've done testing over the next few weeks, we should then try and put together, I think, a full top 11 even, not 10.
Right.
Full top 11. Yep. We've got 11 teams now. Once we've seen them in testing, once we know a little bit more. But, you know, I think it's interesting. It's a good prediction. See if he can stick with it. Let's get on to the main one then. Constructors is one thing. Who's your champion, Reece? Driver.
My drive. Now, did you just want the one again?
Just the one. I want your driver's champion.
I've done three. My driver's champion for the 2026 Formula One season is going to be the old Lego man himself, George Russell.
You've gone George Russell?
I've gone George Russell.
Well, so have I.
There we go.
For the same reasons.
Yeah.
Is he going to do it, though? Is he going to have what it takes to become a champion? I don't know. And the bookies want him to be. The bookies have got him as the favourite.
Right.
But I don't know if he actually will do it. And the bookies, I think, are in a similar position to us, going off not much.
Yep. Yeah, all that you can account for, like you've said before, is these, 5 sessions of closed door.
Yeah.
Going round a track that no one was meant to see. Nothing was meant to leak. Even Craig Slater, who apparently has access to everything in F1, couldn't get there. Yeah. He was stood in the Sky Sports studio talking about it. It's interesting that the bookies have put him first. I didn't know that. I didn't,
Yeah.
That's... So, yeah. Well.
Yeah. He's the bookie's favourite. But look, like I said, I've put him as well. I think on paper, it's his to lose at this point, which is mental to say with such a long way to go. But yeah, I probably wouldn't have said Lando for the champion last year. So like anything can happen. It's a long season, like we know, and it can come down to literally 2 points, like it did last season.
Hopefully, there's a lot of twists and turns. So I definitely didn't mean that.
I hope that McLaren is competitive. I hope the Red Bull is competitive. Imagine 3 teams fighting for the championships. That would be unbelievable, wouldn't it? And that would be an excellent 2026 season. So. Before we round things off, Reece, we've got one more name to put down on our predictions list. And like we said before, it's our Rearview Champion. And this is kind of our award that we've come up with.
Yeah.
It's head over heart. Sorry, it's heart over head even. This is your People's Champion. This is a person that has won the hearts of us and the F1 community as a whole across a season. To give a bit of perspective, I think last season, there was a lot of lovely stories, but if you had to go to anyone, it probably would have been a Carlos Sainz, an Oscar Piastri, someone that wasn't actually there to win the title, although Oscar maybe was, but someone who did a great job and made the most out of what they could to get there. So Reece, who's your Rearview Champion prediction?
So you've kind of just give my game away because I am going to go for Carlos Sainz. If he carries on doing, it's to thank the Williams social media team, if you will. Or if they carry on doing those fun activities together, he gets to show his personality. He's really being himself and he's a lovely man. What about yourself, Tom?
I've gone Williams and I've gone Alex Albon.
Ooh.
And like I said, sort of in my Overachiever prediction, I think that Williams is going to do well. And I think Alex is going to pip Sainz in it. I think Alex will be the better driver of the two. And I think he'll make a gallant effort. I think he'll make some good performances. Like I said, I think he could win a race, but I don't think he'll be in the championship fight. So I think he'll do enough to win the hearts, but not enough to win the actual trophy, which is exactly what you need to do to be the Rearview Champion.
Exactly.
Lovely. Well, there's some great predictions there, Reece. Thank you very much for your thoughts. We'll have a look back at this at the end of the season. We'll see how close we were.
Oh, we're going to think we're complete idiots, won't we?
Or we've got it spot on and we look on, we're going to get clips up on Twitter. Everyone's going to be like, these guys predicted it word for word, exactly what was going to happen. Maybe not. We'll see. Right. Until then, we'll come back to you in the next few weeks after we've seen what these cars can actually do in testing and hopefully have, like I say, a bit of a more concrete lineup of what we think the team's going to look like going into this season. And maybe another prediction on our overall 11 place teams.
Also, just before we end, one again, thank you for joining us again. Thank you for coming back to us if you are coming back. Thank you for checking us out if you've just found us on the algorithm. We're going to do the YouTube thing now, but do like it, do subscribe it, do share it. Because the only thing, we're doing this for fun, obviously. We're two working men. This is a hell of a hobby to have. And just as far as we can grow this, will be absolutely amazing. And
look at the awesome production value. Reece has got the logo behind it.
Look at that.
Do you think that was free?
On me £5 cabinet that I got from a charity shop.
Hang on. Don't give the game away.
Yeah,
that's top production value, mate.
Top production value.
Right. Until next time, guys. See you later.